Hello walkers, and welcome to Manhattan Beach, California. It is 3 p.m., 66 degrees Fahrenheit, 19 degrees Celsius on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. We're gonna do a little walk here. We're starting out on the pier, and they have this neat little octagonal building that's an aquarium, so we're just gonna do a little loop around that. They've got some pretty big waves coming in, which is cool. You can see those down there. You can see El Segundo refinery in the distance to the north. We'll talk a little bit more about the beach in just a moment as we circle around this awesome cement pier. Cool, great white shark there. Model thereof, neat sort of, what do you call this, Art Deco style lamps at the end of the pier. Look at the size of these waves. Well, there's some surfers on the other side we'll take a look at. My name is Henry. I will be your proxy walker today, your virtual travel guide, as always. And as always, guide is a loose term. We're more of a co-discoverer. We're going to wander around here and see what we can find, see what's interesting, details that we might not otherwise see, things that we just find interesting. So I hope you enjoy that. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. I do appreciate your support, your encouragement. It does make these little jaunts a little more affordable, but mainly it keeps me motivated to know that you guys really appreciate that. If anyone else is interested in joining Patreon as a supporter, there's a link down in the description. Of course, no obligation. Happy just to have you watching these and enjoying them. But it would be appreciated. Here's some folks surfing down there. We've got people out here fishing too. As we make our way around, seems fairly busy to me for a Thursday afternoon in March. Lots of folks out here enjoying themselves. It's not crowded by any means. Here's somebody. Let's see if he catches this wave. Nope, missed it. Oh, this guy also missed it. Pretty close to this pier. There's a lot of pain in those things if you're not prepared for it. Let me see, what else? Oh, like, subscribe, comment. I love getting your comments, guys. I love hearing about your memories of places like this, these travels, how you're enjoying these videos, corrections, additions, any of that stuff. I just like interacting with you guys and hearing how you use these and how you enjoy them. So please comment below and let me know your thoughts. It's kind of cool to see these houses, this view of the houses as they sort of go up a slight hill here on the coast here at Manhattan Beach. Of course, a lot of volleyball nets, dozens of volleyball nets and stations set up and available to be set up. This is a beach volleyball mecca from what I understand. We look that way, you can see Hermosa Beach in the distance and the Hermosa Beach Pier. We walked down there earlier today, so check out that walk if you haven't. There's some information on the area that you might find interesting. Love hearing these kids squeal in delight as they play in the waves. So the plan here is to walk to the end of this pier, go up the hill a little ways, and then we're going to go to the right. A couple years ago, maybe last year, I guess, 1 year ago, I walked down here and I went to the left towards Bruce's Beach, which is part of Manhattan Beach City, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. So this time I'm going to make a right. I'm going to go south. I think that's south, yeah. And just because there's a lot of these cool houses, some of them are really old, some of them are really new, all of them are really expensive, but that's okay. I don't have to worry about that because I'm not in the market. These people, you get a scale with the people here of the size of this beach, and I guess one of the notable things is about Manhattan Beach is the 2-mile long beach. The Wikipedia article called it a 450-foot wide beach. seems generous, but maybe not. It seems like that's a number that would be flexible or variable over time. Yeah, so we're just going to have a enjoyable time here, walking, exploring. It is a nice day. It's on the warm side, strangely enough, for 66 degrees. But the breeze isn't particularly strong, so the sunlight, the sunshine really warms things up. I'm seeing these little plates on the ground here. I'll circle around and show you one. Just they seem to be Manhattan Beach Open champions, which I think are volleyball contests, volleyball tournaments maybe. So I talk over the music playing so that YouTube doesn't give me too much trouble there. Occasionally they do give me a little claim, and I have to go in and erase the sound. See if people playing volleyball out there. Love seeing all the electric bikes. Even in the past year, I think there's been a increase. I mentioned we were here last year. So this we're going to see a lot of people riding their bikes along what's called the Strand. It's a 20-mile long bike and footpath that goes from the south of here up to Santa Monica, I think is what it is. And you got to be a little bit careful crossing because you don't want to get slammed into. Especially with the e-bikes now, there's you can go really fast. In this section, there's separated pedestrian and bike paths, bike skate paths. There are some public parking lots down by the beach here on either side of this road, which I forgot to look up, so I'm going to look it up now. We've got some restaurants up here with some open air seating. This is Manhattan Beach Boulevard crossing Ocean Drive here. We're just going to go up a block and see that. One of the things I like about these restaurants here, they have this platforms out here in the street, but they also have these sort of open air but covered sections that are shady but nice, and plenty of sea air coming through. Mangiamo ristorante. It just means we are eating, or let's eat in Italian. Funny little name. Of course, Prego pasta sauce. Prego just means welcome, or you're welcome. Whew. All right, let's keep crossing. Ooh, ice cream. I will say that people are really into St. Patrick's Day. Excuse me.
Sorry.
No worries. Lots of shops and more restaurants coming up here. Not a lot of street signs. And my eyes are not really good for... Okay, we crossed... What did we cross? Manhattan Avenue, and we're headed up towards Highland Avenue. Excuse me. Got a Starbucks across the way. somewhere up here is the Pacific Coast Highway as well. Actually, well, I was going to go right. I'm going to go left, just because it looks more interesting. If we continued this way up the hill here, we would reach a little greenway, which is nice. A nice place for walking, that sort of thing. Some government buildings. I think there's a school up there. And eventually get to the Pacific, the PCH. You can see the seal, I think, right there in the center of the intersection. Kind of fun. Oh, there's a breeze. That's nice. You can look back down Manhattan Beach Boulevard there. Maybe we're going to get our light. There we go. Across the way is the Kettle restaurant. It's like a unique local place, maybe. Kind of neat. I love this little small town vibe. You know, this sort of village feel instead of a big urban scape. Population is 35,000 people. And I think 4 square miles. So that's interesting. Used to be a ranch up here with a lot of agricultural land. I think in the 19 teens or 20s, somebody bought it and started developing it. And Bruce's Beach, I was going to talk about that. So when they did so, they set aside 2 blocks, city blocks, for minority ownership as a minority segregated neighborhood. And some folks came in and developed that. However, in the 1920s, the Ku Klux Klan, a U.S. racist organization, white nationalist type thing, came in and started harassing the owners and the residents there, and eventually, this said the Bruce family seized the land through eminent domain, which is a way of the government buying up land, forcing people to sell their land to the government, and I think redistributed it basically. And then just recently, I'm going to talk about that in a second, but I love these pedestrian areas there are these kind of pedestrian streets here that lead down to the beach, and the backyards, people's backyards, or maybe they're their front yards. They don't have, hope this is a pedestrian walk. They don't have big fences, big privacy fences like you would expect, like I would expect, which is kind of nice. So anyway, I guess Governor Gavin Newsom started the process of taking back the land, or maybe the value of the land, and redistributing it to the original owners' progeny or descendants. Which, you know, it's 100 years ago, and that's, I think, the right thing to do, is to right a terrible wrong. That's my own personal view, and that's as far as I'm going to take it on this channel, because it's more about walking and exploring. Coming up on Morningside Drive, we're on 13th Street, headed, I think, east, and coming up on Morningside Drive. I believe up here on the left is the police station. Looks a lot like a police station. And there's a police car pulling out. That's my guess. That's my logic. Investigation Bureau, so I'm guessing it is a police station. But we're gonna go down Morningside. Okay, so you can look up there, you can see kind of the part of the greenway up there. It's a little street with lanes going either way. And in the middle is probably a 40 or 50 foot wide strip of trees and grass and path for people to walk along. Okay, one of the reasons I wanted to come up here and to get into this residential area is because there's a lot of diversity of architectural styles. This place looks pretty close to brand new. It looks like office space, but it's very modern. They even have the window stickers on the windows, and the middle floor isn't fully finished yet. A parking garage too, that's interesting. That is not modern, but it's got a retro feel and vibe to it. Excuse me. And then here we've got kind of a restaurant center shopping area. Metlocks, which is kind of nice. So originally I had planned to go in this direction, and we'll head back that way. We'll cross over this Manhattan Beach Boulevard. Nice little fusion sushi restaurant, outside dining, kind of like that. Pizza shop, Pit Fire Pizza. There's a Vaughn's grocery store up there.
I mean, I feel the same way about you.
We'll get back into a neighborhood here. I'm surprised a little bit, positively surprised. Up here on the right is a little cart, which I believe is electric. No guarantees on that, but I've seen several of them, which I think is an awesome way to do that here. You get so much traffic, so much ICE. Yeah, that's an electric vehicle. Probably doesn't have a lot of range, but you probably don't need a lot of range if you're not getting out on the highway. Just great way to not consume as much. Oh, hello there, pup. Consume as many resources. Little dog nervously up on the patio, tied off. I guess somebody's visiting. Here's another one of these. This is 11th Street, another one of those pedestrian ways. I think we're going to go down a block to the main drag again. You can see, well, hello there, pup. You can see these little patios, which I guess would qualify as a front yard, maybe. Now, a lot of these are apartment buildings, so it's a little different. And here's somebody's got their TV out watching college basketball. It's March Madness now. This is Crest Drive. We're gonna take a look, see, kind of like an alley, but not. I guess it's an actual street. We're gonna continue. March Madness is the annual college basketball tournament for those of you not in the US who may be wondering. It's a major television and sporting event here. Back to Highland Avenue. See the ocean waves breaking down there. Let's go down another block to the south. What do you say? This is interesting to me to explore this part, this kind of neighborhood off the Pacific Coast Highway, off the main drags, and see what some of these residential areas are. Lots of nice window dressing, and not a lot of yard space here, obviously, with real estate prices. I'm not going to say prices, but demand for this real estate being what it is. People have done a nice job of keeping things manicured and maintained. Lovely homes here. Okay, off to the left as we cross 10th Street is the Neptunian Women's Club. I'm not sure what that is, but that's the title of it. And I guess we'll go down the street. Now this is some of the more of these little yards that I was talking about. And I just love that they're open and public. Not public accessible, but you know, it's, I think in a lot of places in the States we have focused on closing ourselves off rather than opening up, which I totally empathize with. But I kind of feel like maybe that's not the right way to go. And so kudos to Manhattan Beach and Hermosa Beach was similar. Let's go down one more block. Make another left down here. This is more of a commercial area down here. We've got the Aqua Salon on our right. And I don't know what this is. AV on the left. Store. This is Manhattan Avenue again, I think. Coming up on 9th Place, sorry. Got some real estate, some restaurants, some surf shops and clothing shops. You got a fair amount of dress shops over here. Little bookstore. Pages, I like that. I like the name. I like a person's name. That's a nice little cafe too, bar. Open up, but small, intimate. 8th Place off to the right. Let's cross over and see what that looks like. Look at this, I love this wooden teak veranda. Really pretty. Guess this is an office. All right, coming up on 8th Street. And you can look over to the left, you see a, oh, that's loud. That was quite loud. Some variety again in the housing. You get all ages, right? So this little bungalow here is probably
live in and come and visit.
Originally 70s, 60s. And then you've got things that look to me like from the 90s, early 2000s. One that may be much older, 30s, 40s across the way there, that gray one. You got a variety of modern styles. And I've seen a few like beach Tudor, I would call them. Which is, really kind of cool to see a variety. Inspiring, creative architecture and home design. All right, coming up on 7th, now we are going to head back down to the Strand because we'll get a better view of the houses. I love seeing, it's really appealing to me to see. We'll just look up there. You can see there are no tall privacy fences in there, and I kind of have to think that that's building code. We're gonna head down here. Look at this. So you got this thing, and then you got this modern wood-sided thing. But look how inviting it is, and I have to think it creates a sense of community and openness to socializing with each other. Right, so you got this mission style, this sort of modernist, and then I don't know what style it is, mission-ish style. I love this white and brown one up here. That's beautiful. This is Ocean Drive that we are approaching. Going across is kind of like, I would call this an alley, but it's a named street. It certainly is the back of these houses. Maybe not the back. I don't know what the front would be. I'm kind of curious where these people in the middle of these little pedestrian streets park, etc. But surely there's a solution of some sort. This thing looks like a space age Cape Cod thing next to, that also looks like a police station. Some of the volleyball nets and setups. And you got the bifurcated, the wheeled traffic, for lack of a better word, and then foot traffic here on the right. Inland side, again, more of these houses and variety of designs. You sort of course, I've been doing this the whole walk, but thinking about, what do I like? What do I want if I had the resources? And I really like these covered ground floor porches. They're open air, but out of the sun. Look at all these great flowers too. And then you've got an older, more rustic house, but classic style. Right? This one's a classic one, but well kept. I saw one earlier that was beautiful, beautiful house, but it really looked like it belonged in the Pacific Northwest or in a forest somewhere, because it had all this wood siding and cedar shingles. And beautiful house, but it really stood out. Again, which is fine. We all have our tastes, right? There are a lot of these houses being worked on right now. Some are being built new, maybe they were torn down, but a lot of them are being remodeled or maybe just fixed up. You can see the pier again off to the left. Hi there. See, that's sort of the thing I mean by having these low walls. You're open to saying hello to people, and it's a little tiny thing, but I think it matters. I think it matters to be sociable and open to people and kind and generous and available, right? Rather than closed off. A lot of people out running, a lot of people out riding bikes. I love it. Having fun, enjoying the outdoors. So what we'll do is we'll go down and we'll cross over Manhattan Beach Boulevard again for a little while.
Yeah.
Just to check it out. There's somebody working on their house.
We're never gonna be in Dallas, right? How often? I don't know. But it needs to be there.
These hot black dogs. Probably happy to be out though.
But then it's weird too because my friends have done that, but I think I've just been in like two relationships and like
It's always interesting to hear people's little snippets of their conversation. Not eavesdropping, but certainly not. You know, you're walking past and people are talking. Little snippets of daily drama, life's daily drama. Is that the way I want to say it? Little garbage truck backing up.
It's like I really didn't want to now. So I don't know.
Love this, the ornate little plaster work around this alcove. All right, guys, actually, I'm gonna have to call it because I'm running out of battery. Thought I had charged it up, but apparently it's draining quicker. I want to thank you guys. Look at this house. That's awesome. All right, so thank you for joining us today in Manhattan Beach. Hope to see you again soon. We'll be filming some more videos on this road trip. Not sure where from, but you'll have to check back and find out. Thanks again. Tell your friends, comment, all that fun stuff, but especially keep on stepping.